어? 몇 시에? 네. 이제 공부하고 있는데? 아니, 지금 이래야 되고, 지금 이거 1시간 정도 하고 나면 가야 되고, 어머님하고 시간 같이 맞추려 그랬지.
빨리 단계에서 내가 단계를 맞춰놨거든.
그치, 어머니. 뭐야? 이제 어머니 2시 반이잖아. 어머니 2시 반이잖아.
Little cafe opened with its old warm welcome. Coffee steamed beside the window seat. The vinyl played the song we loved in springtime, soft enough to make me smile. Love had changed, not into distance, but into the air I breathe, into every dawn, every breeze, every hopeful tomorrow. The day our story became the sky, I no longer asked it why. Some beautiful things never end, they simply learn to rise. The day our story became the sky, now I lift my eyes above, because forever wasn't time together. It was learning how to love. If another dawn finds me here, I'll greet it with open hands, knowing every sunrise carries onward the endless story
목이 많이 마르죠?
of our hearts.
날씨가 너무 더워서 샤부작 하겠습니다.
Spring arrived
끝냈어?
with flowers by the riverside. Summer skies held laughter in the breeze. Autumn leaves fell gently through our fingers. Winter wrapped the rooftops white and still. Every season carried part of our story. Every road remembered where we stood. Though time moved on and changed the world around us, love remained in quiet little ways. We left a light in every season, one small flame that never died. Every sunrise found it waiting beneath another
어때부터
changing
먼저
sky.
할게요.
We
먼저
left a light in every season, so when life became unclear, hope could always find its way back to us, year by year. The little cafe still glows rises through the air. Someone smiles across the rainy window, like a memory, learning how to breathe. Maybe love was never meant to disappear. Maybe it was meant to become the light we leave behind.
좋지.
We left a light in every season. Now it shines inside my heart. Every ending quietly became another hopeful, brand new start. We left a light in every season, and I'll carry it along until someday my own footsteps fade into another song. If tomorrow calls my name, I'll answer with a smile, because every season still remembers the little light we left behind. The wind arrived with the scent of early blossoms. Morning skies were brighter than before. A tiny leaf danced across the old stone pathway, like it knew exactly where to go. I closed my eyes and heard a distant laughter, soft enough to feel like yesterday. Then spring returned without a single warning, holding all the colors we once knew. The wind brought April back again, through the trees and through my soul. Every blossom softly whispered, love can still make broken whole. The wind brought April back again, even after so much time, painting hope across the silence, like warm sunlight after rain. The little bridge to cross the quiet river, clouds drifted slowly overhead. Someone hummed a melody I once remembered, as the morning opened like a dream. Perhaps the seasons never really leave, they simply wait inside our hearts until because I'm chasing yesterday, but because my heart has room. The wind brought April back again, and I finally understood every ending plants a garden where new dreams can gently grow. If another spring comes quietly, I'll smile before it speaks, because hope always returns on the wings of a gentle breeze. The little cafe, open with the morning sunlight, wooden chairs lined up by the door. The tiny bell still welcomed every visitor, just the way it always had before. Coffee rose like gentle clouds of comfort. Old records waited on the shelf. I looked around and quietly discovered everything remembered us. The little cafe stayed exactly the same, though every year had slowly gone. Every corner held our laughter like a favorite old love song. The little cafe stayed exactly the same, while hearts learned how to grow, keeping every small beginning safe beneath its amber glow. Outside, the trees reached higher than I remembered. Morning birds filled the air with joy. A bicycle rolled softly past the window. Children waved without a care. Maybe places grow older too, yet kindness never leaves them. It simply settles into every wall, every table, every light. The little cafe stayed exactly the same. Now I smile each time I pass, not because I'm looking backward, but because the love still lasts. The little cafe stayed exactly the same. for keeping our story before the evening settled. Tiny drops gathered on the glass. Street lights blurred into quiet golden circles, while the city whispered through the storm. Coffee warmed the silence in my hands. A record played its gentle final song. Then somehow the raindrops on the window look like letters calling out your name. The rain wrote your name on my window, only for a little while. Then it softly faded into one forgotten silver line. The rain wrote your name on my window, just enough to make me see love was never lost completely. It still lives inside of me. Outside, the wind moves slowly through the branches. Summer leaves danced beneath the rain. I watch the sky grow lighter toward the morning. Storms were ending one by one. Perhaps the rain was never there to bring me sadness.
1번.
Perhaps it came to wash away.
엄마한테 엄마 30분 잘했어요 라고 했지.
The rain wrote your name on my window. Then the sunrise took its place, leaving only golden colors.
상민이 전화했어요. 몰랐어요.
My face. The rain wrote your name on my window. Now I thank the passing storm, because it led me back to hope, where my heart has always belonged. If another rain finds me someday, I'll
전화하셨는데 그래 몰랐어요. 나 지금 납땜 하냐고 페이지를 못 내겠어. 납땜 손 저번에 손 대어가지고 아까 손 알다시피 납땜할 때 손 대잖아. 손 집중해야지. 물론 가끔 볼 때도 있지만 이거는 완전히 집중인데. 그래서 어저께는 강화도 갔다 왔어요. 강화도. 예, 30개 납품한 이후로 경기장 그건 좀 미니 경기장 때문에 대신 이제 시설을 우리가 해주기로 했거든요. 미니 경기장. 근데 시설할 때가 좀 세 군데가 있어요. 그러니까 이런 식으로 보니까는 내가 보니까는 이게 시설하는데 나무 같은 거 있잖아요. 나무라든가 너 알았어요. 저는 지금 네.
We were young enough to chase the sunset, barefoot dreams along the river. side. Every promise felt as wide as summer skies. Every tomorrow looked forever bright. You reached out and caught my trembling fingers, like the world could never pull us apart. We believed love needed nothing more than honest hearts and open eyes. We were young enough to believe forever without fear of passing time. Every little hope we planted still blooms inside my mind. We were young enough to believe forever, and maybe that was true. Because the love we once discovered never stopped growing through. The old cafe still opens every morning. Fresh coffee fills the quiet room. Someone plays a gentle tune on piano, soft enough to warm the rain. Looking back, I wouldn't change a single chapter of our story. Even goodbye could never erase the light we found. We were young enough to believe forever. Now I know what that can mean. Love can live beyond the moments we have touched and never seen. We were young enough to believe forever, so I smile instead of cry. Because forever wasn't measured by the years, but by the love we left behind. If another heart falls in love today, I hope they dream just like we did. Sometimes the bravest dreams become the brightest memories of a lifetime.
됩니다. 납땜 타이밍이 정했어, 오늘. 어디 지금 회사에서 일하고 계세요? 하여튼 그래서 어저께는 저기 30기 납품한 곳에 갔다 오면서 거기서 이제 미니 라크라리 거기는 이제 10400 그래가지고 또 10400도 많이 해보시면 알겠지만 제품이 또 이것저것 또 그 손밟기 있잖아요. 번호 붙이는 것 해가지고 그 혜준이하고 갔다 오고 그 하는 김에 우리 미니 라크라리 거기 좀 입점 시켜달라고 얘기했으니까 그거 되면은 거기도 입점 이제 문제 없이 이제 입점에 들어가는 거고. 중요한 거는 우리가 지금 저것 때문에 그래요. 이걸 체인점화 시키려면 좀 체계적으로 해야 되거든요. 그리고 이제 우리 본사에서 한 10개 정도까지 10개 정도는 좀 지원을 해줄 거예요. 경장 지원하고 차 지원. 이것도 얼마 안 돼요. 뭐 10개씩 해도 100만 원인데 10개 1000만 원이니까. 그래서 회사에서 하고 그다음에 지원할 때는 그 경장 만드는 거는 어차피 노가다잖아요. 근데 경기장을 제가 좀 만들어 놓은 게 있어요, 이미. 경기장을 어떻게 만들까? 경기장을 이제 틀이죠, 틀을 만들어 놓고 또 다 가져왔지, 그냥 또 우리 의전만 시켜가지고. 대리님 시켜가지고 다 가져왔어요. 그 경기장에 일본 틀이 있어요, 틀. 그래서 나무만 왔다 갔다 하면 되고, 이제 고양이 닭이라고 해가지고, 그 다리 있죠, 다리. 다리 있죠, 다리. 그 뭐냐, 라크라에 보면 막 다리 같은 거 만들어 놓잖아요. 그것도 뭐 어렵지 않고 다 만들어져 있는 거 다 있어요. 이렇게 저렇게 조합해가지고 시켜서 뭐 햄버거 있으면 햄버거 조합해가지고 하듯이 금방금방 조합되거든요. 그거를 지금 아마 세 군데 정도는 아마 지금 하루 다녀야 될 것 같아요. 하고 나면 또 어차피 또 거기 사장님과 같이 하는 거니까 하는 거고. 작업되어 있는 건 지금 되는 거고. 근데 저기 현민 씨 시간 되면은 나중에 한번 RC라이프 오시면은 이제 가까운 거 있으면 보시고 지금 내가 한 명 할 건지 두 명 할 건지 생각 중이거든요. 같이 일할 때 그 실버타운까지 갈 사람. 실버타운까지 갈 사람은 해야지 뭐 아무 길 할 수 없으니까. 아니 난 이미 난 자리 하나 봐놨지. 자리 하나 봐놨지 난 벌써. 그래갖고 그거 진행을 하고 있어요. 진행하고 있으니까요. 중간중간에 뭐 타이밍 적절한 타이밍에 할 수 있으면 하고 뭐 하여튼 과정이 계속 진행할게요. 시간 되세요? 주말에도 가죠. 계속. 네, 어떻게 가고 편의점 어떻게 갔다 왔어요. 그리고 지방에 뭐 8월 15일 날에서 15월 16일, 17일 한 3일 정도는 지방을 두 군데 갔다 와요. 부산하고 대구하고 두 군데 갔다 와요. 거기도 이제 물건 제가 깔아놓고 그다음에 진행할 때 있거든요. 근데 그 체계적으로 좀 하는 그 시스템 거기에서 더 중요하기도 하거든요. 뭐 중요한 것도 좀 진행하고 할 게 되게 많아요. 이게 그냥 무조건 그냥 편의점 하셔야 되는 아니라 내가 본사가 준비해야 되거든요. 그래서 본사가 준비가 안 된 상태에서 저희가 백종원을 만드니까 백종원 같은 경우 준비를 본인이 모르겠지만 실질적으로 잘 분산을 했지 체험을 안 되었거든요. 그거를 제가 텍스트를 한 거 말고 사이트를 해가지고 보통 체험을 하시는 분들 체험하시는 사장님들이 몇 명인데 그중에 이제 체험을 성공하시는 몇 명 있거든요. 그분들하고 만나가지고 이 회사를 어떻게 체험하실 수 있는지 상담도 하고 저녁에는 만나고 다니고 낮에는 경기장 운영하실 분들 만나고 다니고 낮에 와서 이게 낙대하고 차 세팅하고 저녁에 또 연구하고 또 만날 사람 만나고 좀 이러고 있어요. 한 번에 시작하시 나가가지고 한 번에 확 되는 건 아니고 근데 재밌어야 되지. 뭐랄까 RC로 했을 때 이제 최고 맨 마지막에 내가 팀사배인데 그거까지 좀 진행하려고 하다 보니까 하루하루 다시 사는 것 같아요. 20년대 열정으로 했던 RC라이프 키웠던 것 같이. RC라이프는 뭐 사이트로 늘 돌아가고 있으니까 문제 없잖아요. RC라이프 사이트로도 돌아가고 있고 물건 계속 매출이 일어나고 있으니까 문제 없는데 이제 이걸 이렇게 확장시키는 거죠. 그게 그냥 그게 꽃이 피우는 거죠. 그게 그냥 포인트가 있어요. 그래서 이제 어느 정도 기간 되면은 준비되는 거 보고 준비되는 거 보고 성민 씨가 만약 합류할 수 있다 그러면은 제가 합류하시게끔 제가 준비하려고 해요. 저도 지금 이것 때문에 아파트가 2개 있거든요. 아파트 2개 하나를 진행을 해서 현금 하나를 무겁게 준비해놨어요. 그리고 그거 한 다음에 플러스 이제 이거 있으면은 3개 정도 벌 수 있거든요. 한 10억 정도까지. 그 대출에 대해서 수급을 걸어야지. 안 그러면 이제 신용 무효가 되는 거예요. 잘하면 대박, 안 되면 신용 무효가 되는 거예요. 아니 사고를 하면 그렇게 해야지. 뭐 그렇다고 뭐 굶어 두는 것도 아니고 없어도 그러면 다 있는데 근데 잘 될 건 노력해야죠. 당연히 잘 될 거고요. 잘 될 거라고 생각하니까. 네, 보시고 그대로 저도 잘하는 거 그냥 좀 보여드릴게요. 알겠습니다. 네.
wash the sky to crystal. Bluebirds sang above the quiet street. The little cafe open with familiar laughter. Coffee filled the morning air. Maybe pictures never capture time. Maybe they keep the love time couldn't carry. The photograph smiled before I did. Now I smile right back again. Not because I still am waiting, but because we once had them. The photograph smiled before I did, teaching me this gentle truth. Nothing precious ever leaves us if we keep its light alive. If someday someone finds this picture, I hope they see more than two faces. I hope they find a little piece of hope still smiling between the years.
배터리 가져가세요.
네.
Windows stay open through the night. Morning breeze slip quietly inside. Curtains dance, golden rays of sunlight. Coffee steam rolls into the light. The old record waited on the wooden table. Silent now, but full of yesterday. Every little thing looked almost unchanged, yet somehow everything was new. The window stayed open till the morning, letting hope find its way. Every beam of quiet sunlight was enough to change
오, 와이프네.
the day. The window stayed open for the morning light my heart at last. No longer holding shadows from the seasons that had passed.
배터?
Outside birds filled the air with gentle singing. Leaves replied with whispers in the wind. Someone smiled, walking down the sidewalk. Life began without asking why. cherry branches still grows warm with afternoon sunlight. Every spring, petals
자, 차
softly
가져가세요.
gather like they know our story by heart. You once said nothing beautiful stays forever. Then you smile as blossoms fill the air. I never knew that single quiet moment would become a lifetime in my heart. The bench beneath the cherry tree still remembers you and me.
꺼내줘야 돼. 배터리 막
Every blossom falls so gently.
파란색깔? 금색깔? 이제 이거 한 달에 더 있다가 몇 시간? 한 10분 있다가. 한 시간 있다가.
Melody. The bench beneath the cherry tree never asked the years to stay. Still it keeps our younger shadows safe inside each blooming day. The little breeze still carries sense of springtime. Children run across the open grass. Someone laughs, and somewhere far behind me, a bicycle bell rings through the park. Life goes on exactly as it should, yet kindness never leaves. It grows like roots beneath the places where love once grew. The bench beneath the cherry tree taught my heart to understand. Some memories need no changing, only grateful, open hands. The bench beneath the cherry tree waits beneath the morning sky. Every spring it softly whispers, love is never truly goodbye. If someday I pass that way again, I'll sit a while and smile, because that little bench still keeps the happiest season of my life. The vinyl stopped without a single warning. One last note hung softly in the air. The little room became completely silent. Only coffee still warming both my hands. The evening lamp painted circles on the table. Dust kept dancing through the golden light. was your song had found forever, not inside the record, but inside me. If another melody begins tomorrow, I'll listen with open eye, knowing every song that comes from love keeps playing long after the music fades. The evening sky turns slowly into amber. Golden clouds floated without a sound. You looked away toward the quiet river, holding words too gentle to be spoken. One small breeze moves softly through the branches, carrying the scent of early fall. The world stood still, as if it understood this moment would never come again. The sunset waited for our goodbye, painting gold across the sky, like it wanted one more memory before the daylight said goodbye. The sunset waited for our goodbye, so our hearts could gently see love was never leaving us. It was changing quietly. The old cafe lit every little window. Coffee steamed into the cooling air. A distant train whispered through the valley, taking someone toward tomorrow. I smiled because the evening felt so peaceful, not empty, only beautifully still. Some endings need no answers, only light to guide them home. The sunset waited for our goodbye. Now I carry its warm glow. Every evening finds me smiling more than yesterday before. The sunset waited for our goodbye, and I finally understood. Some beautiful loves never disappear. They become the evening light. We walk beneath forever. This little cafe, open with the morning sunlight. Wooden floors, still shining after rain. The window breeze turned another empty page Soft music filled the quiet room. I poured the last cup from the old coffee pot. Steam rose slow, like dreams into the air. And somehow, without expecting anything, my heart began to bloom again.
김 회장님 안녕하세요.
The last cup of coffee tasted like spring, warm enough to wake my soul. Every sip brought back a little hope. I thought I'd somehow lost. The last cup of coffee tasted like spring. Even after winter's end, love had quietly stayed beside me like the truest, faithful friend. Outside the trees wore brand new shades of green. Children laughed along the empty street. The record spun one gentle melody again. Its tiny crackles sounded beautiful. Maybe healing begins inside the smallest things. A morning light, a favorite song, a cup held with grateful hands. The last cup of coffee tasted like spring. Not because the world had changed, but because my heart had finally opened wide to yesterday. The last cup of coffee tasted like spring. Now I carry that warm light into every brand new morning with a peaceful heart inside. If tomorrow finds me here again, I'll pour another cup and quietly thank every season that taught me how beautiful simple moments are. There were days we filled the air with laughter. There were nights we talked until the dawn. Then life became a little slower somehow, leaving space between our every word. At first I thought the silence meant we failed, that love had quietly walked away. But sitting here beside this open window, I finally understand today. We learned to love the silence like the sea loves the shore, without asking for forever, still returning more and more. We learned to love the silence where our hearts could gently rest, not because was there. The old clock still counts another evening. Coffee cools beside the little lamp. Outside the rain has washed the streets to silver. Moonlight falls across the empty road. Some feelings never need explaining. They simply grow with passing time. Like quiet rivers finding oceans without fear or hurry. We learn to love the silence. Now it sings its own refrain, turning every
교회님,
moment.
아마 오늘 저녁에 진행할 수 있을 것 같은데요. 해보고 연락을 주말에 드릴게요. 이게 한마디 하는 게 아니라 부품도 있는 것도 준비해야 되고 하니까요. 이번 주 중에는 마무리해야겠죠. 근데 타이어는 지금 단종된지 타이어 찾기가 어렵네요.
And I thank the years we knew for teaching me the deepest love. Often speaks without a sound.
타이어는 좀 준비가 어려울 것 같아요. 타이어가 지금 없더라고요, 타이어가.
Tomorrow brings another
타이어가 없지?
quiet day. I'll smile before it starts, because silence has become the place where I can still hear your heart. The little lamp was glowing by the window, just the way it always used to shine. The wooden chair still faced the rainy street, as if it knew you might come inside.
타이어가 안 좋은데 그 타이어를 하려고 수입했는데 제조사가 타이어를 안 만들었는데 그게 공용되는 제품이 없어요. 공용되는.
Gentle crackling sound.
이게 공용되면 좋겠는데 공용이 되지 않았어요.
Nothing asked for
그게 문제예요.
yesterday to return. Yet everything remembered you somehow. The lamp was still waiting, casting gold across the floor, holding every tiny memory safe behind its gentle glow. The lamp was still waiting through the rain and changing years, lighting paths I couldn't see when my heart was filled with tears. Outside the wind moves softly through the branches, leaves whispered stories to the night. I stayed there, watching little shadows dance, feeling time grow beautifully still. Baby places keep a little light for every heart that once belonged. Maybe hope looks exactly like a window left glowing after dark. The lamp was still waiting, not for you its gem and peace and carry home a little light to brighten their own That morning came like any other morning. Coffee steamed beside the open window. The radio played a quiet little love song while sunlight rested on your hair. You smiled once without a single reason and reached across to hold my hand. We never guessed those ordinary moments would become the ones we treasure most. The morning we never knew what matters still lives inside my soul. Every ray of gentle sunshine makes my heart completely whole. The morning
제주사가 연락을 안 해요.
never
제주사가.
knew
혹시 그 제주사 알아보셨나요? 제주사?
what
근데
matters
제주사가 그걸 안 만드는 것
still
같아요.
turns with every spring. Like a quiet promise
항상
carried
제주사가
on the
문제예요.
wings of
제주사가 안 만들면
birds.
저희들도 어쩔 수가 없죠.
The old street
제조사가 만들질 않아요.
ways.
그리고 타이어 회사도 그게 안 맞아요,
Fresh
사이즈가.
paint now
타이어가 그냥 치시면 되면 언제일까요, 타이어? 일단은 엔진부터 올리고 난 다음에 그 다음에 생각을 해보죠.
still wears the same soft color.
타이어가 지금 못 쓰는 상황은 아닌데, 타이어값만 해도 비쌀 거냐고요?
Perhaps forever isn't found in grand occasions. Perhaps forever begins inside an ordinary day. The morning we never knew would matter became the place hope was born.
이제 하나 있어.
Even
오래
though
걸리죠.
it gently
아,
finds
이제 하나 있어. 이거 하나 오래 걸리죠, 봤는데.
with each brand new dawn. The morning we never knew would matter taught me this simple truth. Love grows deepest in the moments we don't realize. We're living through.
같이 나오네.
If tomorrow looks simple once again, I'll hold it with both hands. Because the smallest morning can become the brightest memory of a lifetime. We simply smiled and quietly closed the door. the same. I thought we'd meet again before the weekend, never knowing life had changed its page. Some farewells arrive without announcing, leaving only silence in their place. The smallest goodbye lasted the longest, soft enough to hide inside every ordinary little morning, every sunset, every sky. The smallest goodbye lasted the longest, not because it hurt so deep, but because it quietly taught me some true loves never sleep. The old cafe still opens every morning. Coffee fills the waiting wooden room. A record spins its gentle melody again, like yesterday never fully left. Maybe forever isn't measured by how long someone stays. Maybe forever lives inside the kindness they leave behind. The smallest goodbye lasted the
뒤 40분?
longest.
선생님이 될것 같아.
Carry it with grace.
스케줄이 잘 짜고 해.
Every
잘 해가지고 우주 동선하고 어미 동선하고
another
왔다 갔다 2번 안 해.
gentle corner in this place. The smallest goodbye lasted the longest, yet it led me here somehow, standing stronger with a grateful heart beneath the evening clouds. If someday someone waves goodbye, I'll treasure every smile, because the quietest moments often become the ones that stay for life. We laughed so hard, the birds flew from the branches. Summer skies opened wide above. Your hair danced with every little breeze, like the season wanted you to shine. The little road curved beyond the old cafe, holding dreams too young to understand. Still today, when gentle winds surround me, I can hear those afternoons again. We left our laughter in the wind. Now it travels far and free. Every breeze still
속이 오래 걸리니까 보면
들어가는데 자기 그 모두 이 브루시 이 사진 찍어봐. 비싼 차도 다 거기는 아니다고.
근데 문제는 없고
브루시 문제는 없어. 그 교체할 시간이 오면 교체해야지.
어디 어디를 찍어요? 이렇게 요걸로
시꺼먼
한다고
거.
이게 시끄네요?
이게 시꺼먼 이 안에가.
아, 이 안에? 안에가 아닌데 선이 시큼하다고 선.
선이 연결이 돼가지고 시꺼먼 거지. 이게 가루가 생긴 거지 가루가. 이런 식으로 섞어서.
Somewhere inside the quiet sunlight, our younger hearts still
이건 그 안에가 아니라 이거 이 선.
together.
그러니까 이 카본 가루
Maybe
딱 이거 카본 가루야. 카본 가루가 묻은 거라고.
아, 안에 넣는 게 아니고.
to echo through the places where love once bloomed without fear. We left our laughter in the wind. Now it comforts lonely days, turning silent little moments into warm, familiar rays. We left our laughter in the wind, and I'm grateful that we did, because every breeze reminds me beautiful things still live. If tomorrow brings another spring, I'll close my eyes and smile, knowing somewhere the wind is singing the happy song we left behind. The record turned with its familiar heartbeat. Tiny dust danced through golden light. The needle found the very first few seconds of the song we loved the most. The room became a little younger somehow. Coffee steam rose into the air. Outside the rain had quietly stopped falling. Inside my heart, spring returned again. The old record never forgot our favorite little tune. Every note still wrapped the room like an endless afternoon. The old record never forgot, though the years have drifted far. Love remained inside the music, like a patient guiding star. I touched the sleep with careful hands this morning. Its faded edges still felt warm somehow. A handwritten date rested in the corner, like a smile waiting to be found. Maybe songs remember us long
네?
afterwards.
안녕하세요.
Quiet. Maybe
네.
melodies
잠시만 이거 작업 전화를 하시고 오시는 거예요?
sit
아 이거 작업하고 갈게. 한 10분만. 10분만 있다가 제가 잠깐만 이거를
Never forgot the dreams we used to share. Now they softly fill the silence like a peaceful evening prayer. The old record never forgot, so neither will my heart. Every time the music finds me, it gently brings us back. If another song begins someday, I'll welcome it with open hands, because every melody born from love continues spinning long after the record ends. This little road still curves beside the river. Morning mist rises with the dawn. The old trees stretch toward the waking sunlight, like they've waited for another spring. I slowed down without a reason to hurry, listening to birds above the leaves. Then I smiled because the breeze remembered the sound of our younger days. The road still knows our footsteps, though the years have drifted by. Every stone still holds a story underneath the open sky. The road still knows our footsteps, like a song it never lost. Every gentle step we shared still echoes through the moss. The cafe bell rang softly in the distance. Coffee steam rose into the light. Someone laughed, and suddenly the morning felt exactly like it used to. Maybe places never really forget the hearts that love them well. Maybe memories become roots, holding us steady through the years. The road still knows our footsteps. Now I walk without regret. Every season leaves another blessing quiet road. Because every path that once held love becomes a home inside the soul. Forever. You close the door with one small quiet smile. Evening light rested on your face. I watched your shadow disappear beyond the corner, while the sunset colored every wall. Nothing broke, the world kept gently turning. Birds still flew across the fading sky, but something warm refused to leave that evening. Like your kindness still filled the room. The lights stayed after you left, soft as gold upon the floor. Every quiet little corner still remembered what love was for. The lights stayed after you left, shining through the open air, not to hold the past forever, but to show you'd once been there. The old record spun another slow melody, coffee cold beside an empty chair. Outside the rain had finally stopped falling. Morning waited somewhere far away. Maybe love never leaves with footsteps. Maybe it stays inside the light. We gave each other the light stay after you left. Now I carry it with me. Every road feels a little brighter than it used to ever be. The lights stayed after you left, and I finally understand. The greatest gift you ever gave me was teaching me to love this life again. If another sunset finds me here, I'll smile before the night, because every ending leaves behind a quiet light for hearts still learning how to shine. Tomorrow felt so endless. You smiled back without a trace of fear. The evening breeze carried songs from distant windows. Coffee cooled upon the little table. Every dream seemed close enough to touch. When we believed the night would never end. We borrowed tomorrow from the stars with empty hands and fearless hearts, never asking how long forever would remain before it broke apart. We borrowed tomorrow from the stars, and somehow that was enough. Even now, their gentle light still teaches me how beautiful hope was. The old clock still hangs above the doorway. Time moves on, but kindness never fades. I found your note between forgotten pages. The paper old, the feeling still alive. Maybe dreams don't disappear, they simply travel farther than we can see. Waiting quietly for another heart to believe again. We borrow tomorrow from the stars. Now I carry their quiet glow. Every sunset, every peaceful evening helps my grateful spirit grow. We borrow tomorrow from the stars. Though the years have flown away, every wish we made together still lights my path today. If another child looks up tonight with impossible dreams to chase, I hope the stars smile gently back and lend tomorrow one more time.
사모님이 오늘 오실 수 있으시냐고 여쭤보네요.
The train pulled out without a single warning. Morning mist covered every rail. You waved once, then slowly disappeared into the light beyond the station gate. I stood there holding words I never spoke, listening to the silence after wheels. The kept your footsteps for a moment, then gently let them drift away. The train left, but spring stayed in the little trees we used to know. Every blossom kept on blooming long after you let go. The train left, but spring stayed, like your laughter in the breeze, teaching every lonely morning how to bloom with quiet peace. The old station still smells of warm coffee. Tickets fade, but memories remain. Some afternoons I pass that way again, only to smile at nothing in particular. Maybe love doesn't leave when people do. Maybe it settles into places waiting for us to return. The train left, but spring stayed, growing softly year by year, turning every tear I carried into hope instead of fear. The train left, but spring stayed. Now I know the reason why some goodbyes become beginnings underneath the same blue sky. If another train calls my name someday, I'll step aboard without regret, because you taught me every journey can become another spring waiting ahead. I wrote your name one final time this morning on a page the wind had softly worn. The ink flowed slow, like every quiet feeling I've been carrying for so many years. I folded up the letter without sending, just like all the others before, then walked alone until I reached the shoreline where the waves were singing low. The last letter found the sea, carried gently out of sight. Every word I couldn't tell you sailed away with morning light. The last letter found the sea, not because I gave up hope, but because love sometimes chooses to become the open road. The salty wind lifted strands of quiet memory. Seagulls circled over silver waves. I watched until the paper disappeared, then felt a peaceful kind of empty. the space where healing grows, like the tide returning softly without asking to be known. The last letter found the sea, leaving only gratitude for every dream we built together, even those that never came true. The last letter found the sea, now the waves know every line, and every sunrise over water feels a little more like mine. If someday you stand beside this shore,
오케이 YK YK 업그레이드
gently
갔어.
say, some love stories never disappear. They simply learn to live with the sea. Forever. I never found you in the crowded city lights, or in the noise that filled the passing days. You always came with peaceful little moments. Morning burns, a cup of warming tea. The curtain moved with one soft breath of summer. Sunlight drew a picture on the floor. Without a word, I suddenly remembered how your kindness changed my ordinary world. I found you in the quiet moments where the world slows down enough for every heartbeat to remember what it means to truly love. I found you in the quiet moments hidden deep inside the day, not in grand or shining places, but in gentle little ways. An old notebook still keeps our tiny stories. Every page smiles back at me. The faded ink has lost its darkest color, yet the feelings never disappear. Maybe forever isn't measured by the years. Maybe forever lives inside the smallest things we keep. I found you in the quiet moments when the rain touched every tree. Every drop became a whisper, saying love still walks with me. I found you in the quiet moments. Now my heart no longer hides, because the light you left behind still fills my peaceful skies. I'll simply slow my steps, knowing hope has always waited in the quiet places where love never left. I opened up the old record player slowly. Dust still danced inside the morning light. One familiar song began to fill the silence like it knew exactly where I'd been. For so long, I couldn't bear to hear it. Every note would bring me back to you. The time had turned the sadness into kindness, and the melody finally felt like home. The day the music came back, my quiet heart began to sing. Every broken little memory found the hope that spring could bring. The day the music came back, the empty room filled with light. Even silence started smiling through the gentle morning sky. The coffee steamed beside the open window. A warm breeze moved softly through the lace. Outside, the trees were wearing fresh green colors, like the world had quietly begun again. Maybe healing doesn't erase the past, it teaches us a softer way to hold it. Maybe love never ends, it simply changes its melody. The day the music came back, I wasn't looking behind. I was learning how tomorrow could still bloom inside my life. The day the music came back,
선생님 잘 보시면 안쪽으로 들어오시라고 얘기하세요. 안쪽으로 들어오시라고 얘기하세요.
because they made this simple moment feel more beautiful than I imagined. If another song finds me someday, I'll let it play without fear, because every melody once was ours can still become.
사장님, 옷 집에 옷 내가 갖다 줬죠?
여기 두 개 있는 것 같아요.
사이즈로.
알겠어요. 알겠어요.
We counted stars like they would wait forever, young enough to believe they always would. You reached your hand toward the endless summer sky, saying dreams could never lose their way. I believe every promise in your eyes, and silence sounded full of hope. The evening breeze turned another page around us without telling how fast time could run. We promised the sky too much, more than tomorrow could ever hold. Still those dreams keep shining softly, brighter now than growing old. We promised the sky too much, with fearless hearts and open hands. Maybe that's what made those moments more beautiful than we planned. The old station still hears the passing trains. Every whistle carries someone home. I stand there just a little while sometimes, watching clouds travel without fear. Life has taught me dreams may change, but hope never truly leaves.
네?
It
지금?
simply finds
어떻게 해야 되는데? 한 번 주겠지.
a place.
이게 지금 이게 납땜 3개까지 해줘야 되거든? 어머니는 주로 안 했어?
We promised the sky too much, yet somehow nothing was lost. Love became the gentle courage, helping me through every storm. We promised the sky too much, and I'd do it once again, because believing made those summers
고맙습니다.
worth remembering until the end.
네네.
If
2, 3분이요? 알겠어요.
child looks up tonight, dreaming beyond
알겠어요. 네.
the evening blue.
네.
I hope the stars smile back and whisper,
감사합니다.
never stop believing too. The first snow fell before the morning came. Silent streets turned softly into white. Every rooftop held a little piece of winter. Like the world was learning how to rest. I wrapped my scarf the way you used to show me. Then I smiled without even knowing why. Some memories never ask for tears. They simply stay beside us in the cold. The first snow fell without you, still the sky looked kind somehow. Every snowflake carried quiet blessings, floating gently to the ground. The first snow fell without you, yet I never felt alone. Love had already built a fire deep inside my heart and a cafe fogged its warm old windows. People laughed with rosy winter cheeks. Someone played a song upon the piano, slow enough to hold the evening still. Outside the world turned white with silence. Inside my heart spring remained, because true warmth never depends on changing seasons. The first snow fell without you, but your kindness stayed with me like a candle through December, lighting every memory. Understand, some goodbyes become forever when they're held with gentle hands. If another winter finds me here, I'll watch the snow with grateful eyes, knowing every season brings its own beautiful reason to love this life. Rain begins before the evening loses light. Tiny drops find the window one by one. I close my eyes and hear the quiet rhythm, like the nights we never wanted to end. The little street shines beneath the yellow lamplight. Coffee scents drift through the cooling air. Everything looks almost just the same, except you're now a memory I carry. Your voice still lives in the rain, soft as whispers calling me. Every falling little raindrop sings the words you gave to me. Your voice still lives in the rain, gentle enough to calm my fears, turning lonely evenings into something warm through all these years. The old umbrella leans beside the doorway, just where you forgot it long ago.
데려주고 와요? 아니면 오늘 데려줘요? 아니면 데리고 와요? 다시 와야 돼요? 집에 들어서는 컴퓨터 가져와야 돼, 컴퓨터. 이거 왔다 갔다 해야 되냐고, 그러니까. 컴퓨터 가지고 할 수 있어요? 집에서? 오늘 하고 가야지 가능하지. 그거 집에서 가능하지.
Some goodbyes become quiet songs we carry forever. Your voice still lives in the rain, not to keep my heart in pain, but to remind me love once found me, like spring flowers after rain. Your is always still alive. If tomorrow brings another shower, I'll walk slowly without fear, listening to every drop as if the sky is gently saying you're still here. One more autumn before goodbye arrived. Golden leaves covered every road we knew. You were smiling with your hands inside your coat, while the evening painted everything in gold. The little cafe played an old familiar record. Coffee steam rose into the fading light. We never guessed those ordinary moments would become the brightest part of life. One more autumn before goodbye. One more sunset, side by side. Every little laugh we shared still shines inside my mind. One more autumn before goodbye. Leaves still dancing through the sky. Even now they softly carry pieces of you and I. The years have turned like pages in a novel. Every chapter led me somewhere new. Yet whenever autumn winds return again, your warm laughter finds me with the leaves. Perhaps forever lives inside one perfect season, waiting quietly until the heart needs hope again. One more autumn before goodbye still grows brighter every year. Not because I stayed behind, but because I've stayed here. One more autumn before goodbye taught my soul how to see every ending, holding gently the beginning I couldn't believe. If another fall finds me on this road, I'll lift my eyes toward the trees and thank the wind for keeping safe the beautiful season you left with me. Tonight the moon rose quietly above the rooftops. Silver light filled the sleeping street. I stood still outside the little cafe, listening to the silence breathe. The window glowed just like an old photograph, holding time inside its gentle frame. For one short moment, yesterday returned without a sound, without a name. The moon remembered us first, before my heart could even try. It gathered every little memory across the quiet sky. The moon remembered us first, with patient light upon the road, showing me some beautiful things never truly let us go. A distant train carried dreams beyond the city. Autumn leaves danced beneath its song. Someone laughed far away across the river. Life moved on the way it should. Yet every night, the same bright moon still watches without choosing sides, holding every story, every goodbye, every hopeful sunrise. The moon remembered us first, so I could smile instead of cry. Every tear had turned to starlight, shining softly from on high. The moon remembered us first and whispered through the evening air. Love is never lost forever. It simply learns another prayer. If someday you see this moon again, look up
밑에 지나간다. 밑에
just a
지나간다.
while. Maybe somewhere between its quiet light, our
왔다리 갔다리
happiest
왔다리 갔다리 되는 게
memories
얼마나 낭비야 이게.
are still smiling back at us. The garden looked just like it always had. Morning light fell softly on the stone. Somehow every color seemed quieter, as if the world had noticed you were gone. I reached out to touch a single blossom and smiled and gently let it be. Some things bloom only inside Our memories where no season can take them away. The day the flowers forgot to bloom, the sky still held a little blue, like hope refusing to disappear. Even without you, the day the flowers forgot to bloom, the wind still sang our favorite tune, teaching my heart that love can stay in quiet rooms. The old cafe opened with its usual laughter. Coffee warmed the hands I used to hide. Someone waved from across the little street. Life continued with patient, gentle steps. Maybe healing looks like ordinary days, returning slowly to our hearts. Maybe love never asks to be forgotten, only treasured. The day the flowers forgot to bloom, I planted hope instead of tears. One small dream for every memory, growing stronger through the years. The day the flowers forgot to bloom, I finally learned this truth. Even empty gardens carry seeds, waiting for another June. If tomorrow brings another spring, I'll open every window wide, because the heart always finds new blossoms after the longest winter has gone. Every spring, a little road grows greener, like it knows someone is coming home. Morning dew still sparkles on the flowers, just as softly as it did back then. The wooden gate opens with the same old whisper, welcoming another quiet day. Some places never ask us questions, they simply know who we used to be. A place the seasons remember, where every breeze still speaks our names, where the sunlight falls so gently. Nothing beautiful has ever changed. A place the seasons remember, holding every laugh we share. Even cafe pours another cup of coffee. Its warm window glowing through the trees. Time may carry every face away, but never the love they leave. It stays inside the smallest corners of ordinary days. A place the seasons remember lays inside my heart tonight. Every memory becomes a lantern, shining softly through the night. A place the seasons remember taught me this simple truth. Love keeps blooming long after spring. In everything it once touched. If someday I walk that road again, I'll smile before I speak. Because some places never disappear. They simply wait for us to remember who we have always been. We found a tune on a quiet autumn evening. Just a few notes floating through the air. You smiled first before the chorus reached us, as if you knew it would stay for years. The record turned slowly on the old player. Outside the rain was whispering to the trees. No one knew those simple little moments would become the soundtrack of our lives. The song we never finished still keeps playing in my heart. Every missing little verse became a work of art. The song we never finished didn't need a final line. Some melodies are beautiful because they stay unfinished in time. I found the notes inside an old notebook. Faded ink, but every word still shined. I softly sang parts we left behind, and somehow they completed me. Maybe love isn't always a perfect ending. Maybe love is the courage to remember with a smile. The song we never finished now belongs to morning light. Every sunrise sings its chorus, turning darkness into bright. The song we never finished helped my this melody. I hope they smile the way we did, because the sweetest songs are sometimes written between the words we never said. The stars came out long before we noticed them. We were busy talking through the fading light. One small cafe, one old wooden table, two young hearts dreaming far beyond the night. You laughed and said the future looked enormous. I believed every single word you spoke. We never knew the years would pass so quickly, like summer rain across an open road. The stars waited until we were ready to understand what love had been. Every little shared tomorrow still shines softly from within. The stars waited until we were ready to smile again without regret. Some beautiful things need a lifetime before our hearts can truly get them. Tonight the sky feels closer than it used to. Every light looks gentle from below. I raise my eyes, and somewhere in the silence, your kindness finds me once again. Maybe heaven keeps our memories safe among the quiet stars, so they can glow whenever someone needs a little hope in the dark. The stars waited until we were ready to see goodbye as love transformed. Not an ending, but a promise, keeping every dream still warm. The stars waited until we were ready to thank the road we traveled through. Every heartbeat, every sunset still carries a piece of you. When I look up on peaceful nights, I never feel completely alone, because the stars are softly holding every story we once called home. street still wakes before the sunrise. Window lights close softly one by one. I walked here without expecting anything. Then I saw our shadows in my mind. The little bench beneath the tall green branches still remembers summer afternoons. Even the breeze seems to pause a little longer, as if it knows we once belonged. Where our shadows used to meet, the sunlight still arrives, painting golden little memories across these quiet skies. Where our shadows used to meet, nothing waits for yesterday, yet every step feels full of kindness, guiding me along the way. The coffee shop has changed its painted doorway. Different faces, different songs inside. Still the warmth feels strangely familiar, like old happiness never truly left. Maybe places keep our stories safe long after we've gone our separate ways. Every season turns another page, but love leaves gentle fingerprints. Where our shadows used to meet, I found peace instead of pain, thanking every simple moment like a soft September rain. Where our shadows used to meet, I finally understood the greatest love is sometimes hidden inside gratitude. If another heart walks here someday, searching for its own bright light, I hope this road whispers gently that beautiful memories never disappear. They simply learn to walk beside us. You looked to me like the morning knew our names. One small smile and the whole world felt awake. The little cafe was filled with goes on the way it's meant to travel. Still, some moments never fade away. Not because they lasted forever, but because they were honest from the start. Love becomes a quiet rhythm that our hearts never forget. There was always music in your smile. Now I hear it every spring in the birds and warming sunlight, in the hope new mornings bring. There was always music in your smile. Now that song belongs to me, helping every lonely evening bloom into a memory. If we never meet again someday, that's alright, I understand. Because your smile already gave me a lifetime of beautiful songs. The wind knew your name before I spoke it, brushing softly through the quiet trees. Every afternoon it carried little echoes of the laughter we forgot to keep. The old road still bends beside the river, just the way it always used to do. Sometimes I think the seasons still remember every little step we walked together. The wind knew your name long before the stars appeared, like a gentle song the world was singing. Only hearts could truly hear. The wind knew your name even after years had gone, turning silent memories into something warm to carry on. The cafe lights began to glow at sunset. People smiled and hurried on their way. I stayed there just a little while longer, watching evening wrap the sky in gold. Love doesn't leave the places where it bloomed. It becomes the quiet air around them. Always near, always gentle, always enough to make us smile. The wind knew your name when spring returned again. Every blossom seemed to whisper nothing if tomorrow brings another breeze, I'll close my eyes and breathe, knowing love never disappeared. It simply learned to travel with the wind forever. Coffee grew cold while I watched the morning rain. Tiny circles dancing on the window pane. I thought of you without a trace of sorrow, only gratitude for every gentle day. The empty chair across the little table didn't feel like loneliness anymore. It simply held a quiet place where beautiful memories still could breathe. The coffee grew cold, my heart grew warm. Somehow healing came so quietly, not with fireworks or loud promises, just peaceful mornings setting me free. The coffee grew cold, my heart grew warm, like winter turning into spring. Every ordinary little moment began to shine, like everything. The old notebook still carried faded ink, letters written by a younger heart. I smiled because they sounded so sincere, even if life chose another road. Some stories don't need another ending. Their beauty lives inside the journey. Every goodbye leaves behind a little kindness if we let it stay. The coffee grew cold, my heart grew warm, as the sunlight filled the room. Every little ray reminded me darkest nights always leave too soon. The coffee grew cold, my heart grew warm. Now I understand at last. Love was never only yesterday. It became the strength I have. If another morning finds me here, I'll pour another cup with a smile, because every sunrise brings a quiet chance to fall in love with life again, one peaceful day at a time. sunrise came before I even closed my eyes. Golden light slipped softly through the room. Your old scarf still rested on the chair like it knew another day would come. I made 2 cups without remembering why, then quietly smiled at my own heart. Some habits stay a little longer when love has been sincere. I kept the sunrise for you inside the quiet of my soul. Every gentle ray of morning still reminds me how we glowed. I kept the sunrise for you, not to hold the past too tight, but to thank the days we shared for teaching me what love feels like. Outside birds sang above the little rooftops. Life began exactly as before. Yet today the wind felt somehow softer, like the world was smiling back at me. Perhaps goodbye never asks us to stop loving. Perhaps it asks us to love gently without holding on. I kept the sunrise for you, where no season can erase every memory turned into a quiet warmth time embraced. I kept the sunrise for you, now it shines for me as well. Every hopeful step I'm taking carries stories words can't tell. If tomorrow brings another dawn, I'll open every window wide, because every sunrise whispers softly, love is never lost, it only changes with the light. I woke up before the morning found the sky. Everything was quiet for a while. The coffee steamed beside the open window, and the breeze carried whispers through the trees. Another day without a perfect answer, still my heart was lighter than before. Maybe peace isn't something that we find. Maybe peace is something that we grow. Someday this will feel like home. Every winding road, every step filled with dreams that never disappeared. Some came true, some slowly drifted farther, yet they all helped shape my soul. Even the nights I wished away were building the dawn I needed. Every ending opened one more door I couldn't see until I walked through. Someday this will feel like home. Every changing season, every silent prayer, every goodbye will bloom into a brighter sky. Somewhere ahead, someday this will feel like home. I look back with grateful eyes, thanking every road that gently led me to this peaceful morning light. If you're searching for tomorrow too, keep walking even when it's slow, because the heart always finds its way to the place where hope has quietly been waiting all along. Every night, one little window stayed awake across the street, a quiet golden light. I never knew who lived behind those curtains, but somehow it made the world feel kind. Walking home with tired thoughts and empty hands, I'd look up and find that little glow, like someone was quietly reminding me tomorrow would be alright. The light across the street never called my name, still it always found my lonely heart just the same. The light across the street shined gently through the rain, turning ordinary evenings into something warm again. Some days came filled with silence and regret. Others brought a smile without a cause. Life has always moved like changing weather, yet that window never seemed to fade. Maybe hope isn't loud at all. Maybe hope is only one small light, refusing to go out. The light across the street stayed with me each passing year, teaching me that quiet kindness can erase the deepest fear. The light across the street lives inside my heart today. Now I try to be that little glow for someone on their way. If another soul feels lost tonight, I hope keep believing. Morning waits beyond the dark. The light across the street was never just a light. It became the little hope that carried me home every night. Your favorite song started playing quietly from the old cafe across the empty street. For a moment, time forgot to keep moving,
운전하고 왔습니다.
and the afternoon felt just like before. The window glass held the golden light of autumn. Dust was dancing
영훈이 안녕하세요.
like forgotten memories. I closed my eyes, and every gentle heartbeat found its way back to your smile. The melody stayed behind long after you were gone, like a little light still glowing softly when the stars begin to dawn. The melody stayed behind in every place we used to know, every quiet street, every cup of coffee still hums a song of hope. Years have passed like leaves upon the river, never stopping, never turning back.
운전
Still
중이신가요?
your kindness lives inside the little things. A gentle breeze, a handwritten note, a familiar sky. Perhaps the heart never truly loses those who taught it how to love. Perhaps they become the music we carry every day. The melody stayed behind, not to make my heart cry, but to remind me love is never measured by
대구.
a last
저 8월 15일 정도에 대구 왔다 갔다, 대구 갈 일이 있어요, 대구.
stayed behind,
알씨라이프 대구.
growing softer through the years.
이번에 대구점 생기기로 했어요, 대구점.
Into quiet smiles and quiet smiles
컴퓨터 어디 있어요?
into new
네, 책상, 차가 있어. 가져오세요.
Someday someone sings this tune.
전했어요?
I'll smile without a word,
예.
because some songs never really finish. They simply echo inside the heart forever. this quiet little room still remembers every laugh we used to share. The clock moves on without asking how I feel. Yet my heart is learning not to rush. Maybe healing looks like this, one peaceful night at a time. Until the morning finds me smiling, I'll keep your kindness close. Like the sunlight waiting softly beyond the longest winter roads. Until the morning finds me stronger, I'll believe the sky turns blue. Every tear I've ever carried will become
전혀
bright view.
아니 전혀 생각
A single bird sings before the dawn arrives. Hope begins long before the light appears. I breathe in the scent of coffee and rain, feeling life return so quietly. Not every answer needs to come today. Some dreams wake up slowly, like flowers opening gently to the warmth they've always known. Until the morning finds me laughing, I'll keep walking without fear. Every step will write a story worth remembering year by year. Until the morning finds me shining, I'll thank the nights I've known, because they taught my fragile heart how to become a place called home. When the sunrise touches my window, I'll whisper one simple prayer. Thank you for every goodbye that gently led me to this beautiful morning air. I found a page still waiting in my notebook. Nothing there but the marks of yesterday. I held my pen, yet no words wanted to come. Only silence breathing with the afternoon. The window light moves slowly on the table.
알았어요.
Coffee steam rose into the quiet air. I closed my eyes and heard your gentle laughter like a melody carried by the breeze. The empty page turned into a song before I knew what I should write. Every memory became a rhythm leading me explaining. They simply learn how to fly. Outside the rain had finally stopped falling. Tiny drops sparkled on the leaves. The old cafe filled with quiet conversations, while my heart found its own voice again. Maybe love never disappears, it changes into the stories we continue to sing. The empty page turned into a song, soft enough to heal the night. Every lonely little heartbeat found a place to rest inside. The empty page turned into a song, and suddenly the world felt new. Not because I had forgotten, but because I carried you. If tomorrow brings another empty page, I'll smile before I begin, because every ending hides a melody waiting for a hopeful heart to let it sing. You waved your hand like tomorrow would be waiting. Neither of us knew the world would quietly change. No final words, no promises to remember. Just an ordinary afternoon becoming forever. Your empty cup still warm upon the table. Sunlight danced across the wooden floor. The little bell above the cafe door rang once, then slowly disappeared. That was the day we didn't say goodbye, because our hearts still believed we'd meet again. That was the day we carried tomorrow, without knowing it would turn into a memory. Years went by like pages in the summer wind. The faces changed, but kindness stayed the same. Sometimes I hear our favorite old melody, and suddenly the room feels young again. Maybe love isn't measured by how long two people stay. Maybe love is the quiet light that never finds a reason to fade away. That was the day we didn't say goodbye, so nothing ever truly ended. A little part of you kept walking inside my heart. That was the day I learned forever can begin inside one smile, one ordinary moment, one peaceful sky. If you're somewhere watching the sunset too, I hope the evening treats you well. And if you ever think of those old days, know that they still bloom inside my soul. Because the day we didn't say goodbye became the day love learned how to remain without saying a single word.
운전되셨습니다. 네네. 아, 네네네, 안녕하세요. 예, 안녕하세요. 네. 다시 한 번 말씀해주세요. 예, 맞아요. 맞죠? 네, 맞습니다.
There was a road
예, 맞습니다.
covered in afternoon light,
예, 20년 넘었죠. 20년이 안 되고 17년인가?
without
거의 20년 됐죠.
reason to hurry.
네네네.
Two young hearts thought every season would stay.
네네. 그 내용으로
Never
해가지고,
dreaming spring
일단은, 네네.
quietly fade. The
네네.
little wind played with your untied hair.
네네.
You look back and smiled without
Yeah.
a word. That single smile stayed longer than
네, 그
forever.
컨디션을 봐야죠.
Somehow living far beyond those days.
네네.
We left our spring behind, but not the love it gave to us. Every blossom felt so gently, yet its colors never disappeared. We left our spring behind, like old letters in a drawer, still carrying the warmth of yesterday.
아니, 상관없어요. 잠깐만요. 하나
I opened the door.
예. 네네. 그래요. 뭐 내용은 뭐 문자 중간에 변경 없는데 문자 한번 주세요. 예. 그래요.
Now the
알겠습니다.
trees wear different shades of green. Children laugh along the same old street. Time moved on exactly as it should.
네, 고맙습니다. 네. 네, 명함이요. 네네. 그래, 주소, 그 회사 소개 그 내용이니까 문자 드릴게요. 네.
If
들어왔습니다.
rain was finally gone.
네네. 예, 예.
Still sleeping on the window.
네.
I looked out.
그러면은 현재 물건 포장하고 있는 담당자 바로 전화번호 알려드렸거든요. 이 전화번호 하시면 전화 통화하시면 담당자가 바로 물건을 포장하고 있는지 아니면 내일 나갈지 모르는데요. 내일 받으셔야 된다면 오늘 나가야 되잖아요. 오늘 나가는 제품인지 한번 문자 한번 전화 한번 바로 줘보시겠어요? 예, 지금 전화번호 남겼습니다. 네.
Maybe healing comes without a warning, like quiet sunshine after endless clouds. When the rain finally stopped, I heard my heart begin again. Not because I stopped missing you, but because I found myself again. When the rain finally stopped, every little breeze felt new. Even the sky looked brighter somehow, as if it knew I'd make it through. The little cafe open like every morning. Warm coffee filled the gentle air. Someone smiled as they passed beside my table, and I smiled back without even thinking. I realized love doesn't disappear, it changes shape and learns to stay. Not as sadness, not as regret, but as warmth that never fades. When the rain finally stops, the flowers grew without a sound, just like hope returning slowly to the quiet waiting ground. When the rain finally stopped, I thank the days we used to share, because they taught this fragile heart that love is always worth the care. If another storm finds me someday, I'll remember this morning light. After every rain, there waits a sky wide enough to hold new dreams. When the rain finally stopped, I wasn't losing you anymore. I was gently finding tomorrow, one peaceful step at a time. You said goodbye so softly, I almost missed it. Like a leaf falling where no one could see. No tears came, only silence filled the room. And the sunlight forgot how to shine for me. The empty chair still waits across the table. Coffee growing cold, like words we never spoke. I kept listening.
오케이, 빠져 해결하고 이따 슈퍼서밋을 저녁에 할게요.
Searching for your footsteps in the quiet air.
자,
The sound
여러분 이거 지금 하려 했더니 한 번 했더니 납땜이 너무 많이 들어가지고 배터리 나 때문에 시간이 너무 많이 했어요. 지금 핸드폰 뜨끈뜨끈하네요. 2시간, 3시간이 끝났지 하더니 이거 저녁에 할게요. 이거 좀 1시간 정도 걸리니까요. 이것도 먼저 이렇게 준비해가지고 세팅했으니까 이거 저녁에 하고 아까 이거 했어요. 이거 이따가 저녁에 할게요. 저녁에 대구점 준비하겠습니다. 대구 어디냐면 대구 어느 점이냐면 어디 보자. 대구 달성구예요. 대구 달성점. 대구 달성점. 대구 달성점입니다. 현풍리 중리에 있어요. 이렇게 진행할게요. 고고싱.